is Muggsy the Puggle. Muggsy is the man, and it is the mascot for this wonderful business, which is Hiking Hounds, and we love it. I could look at this all day. It's fantastic. So we're going to be inviting the owner of Hiking Hounds, Shay Barnes. She's going to be on the program, introducing her business. Actually, I think she's just now full-time or close to it, or full-time-ish at this point. So we're going to be welcoming Shay in a little bit. But we do, Cara's here, have a winner from last week's gift certificate. Who's going to win it?
Sally Tiska Rice. Yay, Sally. I don't know if Sally will be tuning in, but
of course she is.
And that gift certificate is for
so Sally, and we love Sally. She is strong and a wonderful woman, and she's been on the show in the past, and we love you, and you are going to get. We'll deliver it to you. I think we can do that.
Yeah, we're going to hand deliver. It's to the Enchanted Altar.
So nice. Enchanted. That was really wonderful. Nicole Irene last week, we had a great conversation with her, and it was my birthday.
Yes,
over the weekend. It was frigidly cold this weekend, so it wasn't a weekend to like go out and about and have a good time out on the town. Although Friday night we did go to Bosque, and I'll say
Friday night.
Friday night was that was 2 days before the birthday, so it was my birthday weekend. It's still my birthday month.
Yeah, birthday was Sunday.
We're working on birthday month right now, right? Shay, Shay agrees.
It's totally fair.
Cara, I don't know. She's convinced. I don't think she's convinced, but and Sarah Esco says, "Hey, Shay." Hi, Sarah. I think she's. Sarah, you're a Pisces too, I think. I feel like she is.
Yeah, she just had a birthday.
You see, okay, very good. So happy birthday to you, Sarah, and happy birthday to me. Jocelyn Maria says, your hair looks fabulous today. Oh, thank you. You're talking to Cara. Okay.
Thank you.
Jocelyn says, happy birthday again to me. Wish could stay for the video, but hope you guys have a great night. Well, Jocelyn, you can go watch the rest later. I'm
loving the skating videos, Jocelyn.
Has she been putting those up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those. And Sarah says, almost birthday twins. And my Ward 6 soulmate over there, Sarah. We go way back in the ward, as it were. So, so we have that. But Bosque has been a good time.
It really has been. We hadn't been in a while, and then Friday night we decided all the kids went skiing at the same time. So we went up and we had dinner together and a glass of wine. Saw some people that we know. It was fun.
Yeah, it was just a movable feast, and people were coming up, and then all the kids came up. Of course, they come up after they go skiing.
Yeah, they know where it's at.
They know where it's at, and we had a really wonderful experience, and that's what Bosque is. So I hope they're doing well. I hope Bosque is performing as great as they possibly can, and profitable, and all that.
A couple more weeks.
Yeah. So it is about time to look back and say, hey, how was the season? Because we're about there. The last day of the year typically is St. Patrick's Day. I think they'll go so.
Or,
later.
If there's snow, If there's snow,
if there's snow, go ahead and out there and ski. So, anything else we missed this week?
What else? I think so.
You were working. Wait, you're doing some subbing, right?
I am.
Did we talk about that at all?
I think we did. Yeah, I'm subbing a couple days a week.
At Herberg Middle School.
Yeah, Herberg was like my favorite building to work in.
Still your favorite building.
It is. I don't know. There's something about that building. But here's the thing. I am tucked in the back of the building, which when I worked there back in 2002 to 2007, I think it was. Well, actually 1999 I was there too. But I never even went down that wing. So like now I'm down there, I'm like, wow, all that time I never walked. It's like it's weird when you work in a building and you literally just walk in, go to your classroom, go to the teacher's room and leave. I'm in like a completely different wing of the building, and it's cool. And I'm over, I think we did talk about that because I'm right next door to Michael
Vincent Bushy.
Yep.
Yeah. So there you have it. So Herberg is excited to have Cara in there at least a couple days a week. So Sarah says, "Come back to Ward 6." I don't know. That's another move in Pittsfield, Sarah. I'm not sure about that. We'll see. But yeah, we love West Street for sure. So Shay Barnes is, well, she's a longtime friend.
Hi.
She is now, after a long career as a dental hygienist and still doing a little bit of that on the side, has started a business that I would say has to be a labor of love, and that is Hiking Hounds. So tell me how all this got started, because you have been a hygienist for what?
Almost 20 years.
About 20 years, and you're kind of in a situation where it's empty nest-ish or so.
Yep.
You have a 24-year-old daughter who's getting her master's, which is amazing.
She's getting her doctorate.
Doctorate!
good
Oh,
for her.
man.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not
That's
worthy. Oh, my
fantastic.
gosh.
Yep, she's
A
almost
doctorate.
there. She's almost there, yeah.
Wow. At Springfield College. That's amazing. Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
that
thank
is
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
That
So
is
then a
awesome.
lot happening in your
Yes.
world. So
Yes.
tell me how this whole journey got started for you.
So it used to start as a joke, kind of, for years. And people would say, oh, if there's anything you would want to do, what would you want to do? Well, I'd want to walk dogs. I love dogs. I love all dogs. And I love hiking. I love taking walks. I love being outside. So I still love hygiene, but I think my passion started to go downhill a little bit, and I started to notice it, and I thought for a while, I'm just gonna, it'll pass, it'll pass, it'll pass. And it didn't really pass. And then there was a day in November when I woke up and I watched the news, and I just sort of couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
And I just said to my husband, I was like, I can't not do something I don't love anymore.
Right.
I just can't do it. It's just not an option. I'm not happy going to work every day. And I love my office. I love my coworkers. Like you said, I'm still going to help them out because I would never do that to them. But it's just not my passion anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And so he said, well, what is? And I said, well, I want to walk dogs. It's not really a joke. I
That's
really
amazing.
want to walk dogs.
Yeah.
I just can't think of anything better to do with my day than be outside just with happy dogs all day long. All day.
Yep.
And that's...
I'm sure there's many research papers that may allude to the fact that, I mean, happiness, we talk about having pets, and there's grounding involved. I mean, there's a lot involved because when you are actually even touching your pet, and I mean that's
It
healing.
regenerates your cells.
Absolutely.
I know that's what Cara always says.
Yeah.
When she grabs
So
Sadie.
when Sadie's laying on John's side of the bed and John gets irritated, just give her a hug.
Oh no, I
regenerate your
I give her a
cells.
hug. Yeah.
No pushing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, well, Muggsy used to get pushed. He doesn't anymore. He does. But that was always, he's old now. Muggsy's almost 15 and a half. So he cannot be a hiking hound anymore. He
Yeah.
has some hip problems. So he just can't do it. But he's the original hiking hound. I mean, we would go for hours.
Really.
We would take miles and miles, and he was just so happy.
Aw.
And he wants to do it, he just can't because he's
Right.
old. And so, yeah. I have one little guy right now, and he's so cute, and I, love taking him. And we just have so much fun.
Yeah.
And he's so cute.
Was that the dog? I think you had a reel.
Yes.
Is it like with the curly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a cute
His name is
dog.
Teddy, and he's so cute. And I'm like, this is happiness.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
you get
definitely
to
happiness.
a point, and I will say the same thing happened to me. And I saw something, I don't know, I was reading a book or whatever, and it showed a timeline. And from like 0 to 20, you're like a kid and like you're carefree, and then you're in your mid 20s or whatever, and you get that job. And you're literally working for this long period of time to like, just say like, you have like 80 at the end of the road.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like for a huge span of time, you're working. And then you retire at like 65 if you're lucky. And you have from 65 to like 80 or 90. That's not a lot of time.
Yes.
And when you look at it that way, it's like, I need to spend this big chunk of time doing something that I love.
That's, of course, assuming that by the time you hit 65, you actually have
Can retire.
Can do that. So that's a whole other element of it. But the concept of being present and this idea of, I'm just going to work my nose to the grindstone forever, and then I get to retire and relax. It's just a weird concept, and it takes away from the whole fact that we're living every single day, and you need to be present. Well, you don't need to. You don't need to do anything, but but this idea and this cultural norm is so out of whack with happiness.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And I started in hygiene all these years ago. I was a single mom, so I needed a career that would financially allot me what I need for my daughter, give me the hours for her needs, and, now she's graduating in a couple months from college.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of changes as well this last couple months. My husband has a new job. He used to run his own company. Now he has a kind of a desk job.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yes.
that's a switch.
Yes. It's a similar atmosphere, but it's we've
good
had a
for
lot
him.
we've had a lot of change.
Yeah.
But I think it's all going to be great.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to do it too. Like mid to late 40s, I think everybody, we just kind of like reassess and I think that's good when it is a risk. It's not.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you're not going to know unless you try it.
Yeah,
Because
pretty
you
much.
can't continue to do something that is causing you so much stress, and
Yes.
like, I just remember wishing the week away. It's Monday morning and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do it. Friday, I can do it.
But it's true, like Sunday night, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
You're dreading Sunday on Saturday.
yes.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, what am I
Thursday
doing?
night is great.
Yeah.
Friday night's great.
Yeah.
Saturday's good, but then you're like, tomorrow's Sunday.
Yes.
And then it's Monday.
Yeah.
Totally. I know. And I think, a lot of people do feel that, and I think the ones who are, I guess, luckier don't have to feel that way. Sometimes people just have jobs that they absolutely love, and that's awesome, and I hope everyone gets that opportunity. But then making your own path is the way of the business owner, which definitely is tough. It can be tough for sure, but it's definitely more rewarding when you succeed as opposed to
Yes.
when you see. I mean, it just is. It's just it's an amazing thing that we have. So. So tell me about that. So you do have one little.
I do have one little guy, but like you said, up until yesterday, I was still full time.
You're still full-time.
I was still full time. So I figured I would try to at least get it out there a little bit. But I also understand it's also cold.
Yeah.
So people aren't really ready to want their dogs hiked quite
Yeah.
yet.
Those
so
paws they get cold out there.
But don't worry, Hiking Hounds has all of that covered when the time comes for your
Okay.
dog. So, I can definitely talk about all that. Up until yesterday, I was still full time. I will still be working part time because now I can start really focusing more.
Yeah.
And I'm also a realist. I know I'm not gonna have 25 dogs in 2 weeks. So I can still work and help my office.
Unless you do.
Unless you do, you never know.
Great,
Yeah.
which would be great.
I mean, you are going to get the blend bump here.
See,
Yeah.
this
You
is
know.
very true.
Yes.
This
for
is
sure.
very true.
And speaking of that, we are giving away a free Berkshire hike for your dog. If you have a dog, that Shay is going to do for you. If you like, comment, and share on this. So, Sarah and Jocelyn and Susan Korn Coldus
Hi, Susan.
is in on it too. John, happy birthday month. Pisces rule. Cara, I love your hair.
Thank
Did
you.
you do something different to your hair? Why is everybody saying
I
they love
don't
your
know.
hair?
I have not had a haircut in a really long
I was
time.
gonna say it looks very long.
Yeah.
It does.
It got really long, but I haven't had it cut. I'm going this week. I'm Thursday. I can't wait. But I'm not
Okay.
going to get it. I'm just going to get my highlights done again. But I'm not. It grew fast. Like, I'm happy about that.
Is that a winter thing? Does your hair grow? I mean,
I don't
does it
know.
happen
I
with
don't
dogs?
know.
Don't
Vitamins
dogs?
or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. this is the best I could do. I had to work at my office today, and I have to tie my hair up. So although I feel like this is kind of what my hair is going to look like a lot.
Yeah, well, I wear my hair up
Good.
every day, and John's like, take your hair down.
I do too.
And so I have to remember, he's like, take your hair before we get on. I'm like, okay. I always forget, and I have like the clip every day. When I'm at work, I do that. When you're with kids,
I was like,
Yes.
take your hair down. I don't
yeah.
say that.
I have to tie my hair back
because
at work.
after the show, she'll be like, "Oh, I didn't take my hair
Yeah.
down. You didn't tell me." So now I
Yeah.
tell her, but I'm not.
You're
but
not
I'm not
being
like
mean about
I'm
it.
not like, "Oh, take your hair down." What are you thinking? Take your hair down. I don't like it. Doesn't it totally doesn't matter to me, but your hair's down now.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. It is. Sometimes it's a change. I wear scrubs, and then I come home and I put on like workout clothes.
Yeah.
So when my hair is clean and dried and styled, and I have real clothes on,
Yeah.
I get a lot of compliments too
Yeah.
from Dennis.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
look so nice.
That's right.
I'm like, that's because my hair's clean and I have real clothes on.
I know, it's like low bar to jump over.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah.
You
Keep
got
it
it.
there, and then you're gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
So what is the equipment that the little pups have to have? Little, big, to keep their paws? Do they have like little mittens
So
or something?
some people can do mittens. I know, like Muggsy will not wear them.
Mm-hmm.
He just goes complete no bones
Aw.
if you try to put mittens on him.
Yeah.
So I have mushers that I'll put on for them, and everybody's
Mm-hmm.
can pick and choose what they would want for their dogs. I'll follow the guidelines of hot and cold. So you're not supposed to have a dog out for longer than a certain amount of time when it's over a certain degree or under a
Yeah.
certain degree. But I also know that they want to get together and play. That's the whole purpose of paying me to
Right.
walk your dog. So we have a very large size basement in our home. So we have set a corner. It's going to be our cozy corner.
Okay.
So when there's particularly inclement weather
Yeah.
that the dogs can't go on a full 60-minute hike or 90-minute hike, we do have 3 acres, and we do have some woods behind it. So they still have the option of getting picked up and playing and getting the
Nice.
exercise, but without either burning their paws with the cold or
Yeah.
with the hot or getting too overheated or too cold. Just things like that. I mean,
Aw, that's awesome.
or if it's raining too hard, they can still get out and exercise, but then they'll also have this little area where they can play inside.
Yeah.
But that's only in inclement weather. They really want to play outside.
Right.
Now, what was your first dog?
My personal,
Yeah.
Muggsy.
Muggsy.
Oh, Muggsy was your first
Muggsy
dog.
was my first.
So your first dog was as an adult. That's amazing.
Yep, we were cat people growing up. My mom was big cat.
Yeah.
Really? How many cats?
We had a lot of cats. We had 2 staples, Ziggy and Putty, growing up.
Yeah.
And there was others that sort of came in and out. And so we were always cat people. And then I had cats. The only time in my life I have ever not had a pet, to my knowledge, is the first 2 years of my daughter's life.
Yeah.
And then we
Which
got
is
a cat.
weird when you don't have.
It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got a cat. And then I don't even remember how. I do remember a girl I worked with, Jody Blessings.
Oh, Jody.
Yes, you
Yeah.
probably know
Yeah.
Jody. So this was obviously 15 years ago. She's like, I think you would be a good dog mom. And she had a friend who had a dog. He was probably almost a year old that needed to be rehomed.
Yeah.
And guys, he was awful.
Oh, really?
He was awful.
And
Awful.
so this
What
is the
kind of
first.
dog?
He's a puggle.
Oh.
And he was awful. But somehow I took this dog home. Because I had sort of mentioned to Ashley we might get a dog. He was awful. The first 4 months that we had him.
So Muggsy was awful.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
like
much
just
energy.
stubborn or
just so much energy. There's a really funny story. We were at my friend Jackie's house, and he pretty much leapt through the air while peeing on her couch. Yeah, it was a lot.
wow.
So we had him fixed, and that took a little bit of his energy down. And then, of course, I could spend more time with him, and then he was
Yeah.
the best dog
I see
ever.
that slow motion image
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
dog.
yeah.
It's
It
like that
was
scene from Beethoven or something.
my
like,
In my
what's
mind,
that?
it was slow motion because I'm watching him
You're like,
Yeah.
no.
pee on my friend's couch.
No.
But then as time went on, he, like most dogs, he became my best friend. And when we would hike, I would never put him on a leash.
That's great.
I could take him probably for a full walk, even on a street, without ever having to put him on a leash. I did leash him,
Yeah.
you know, because he still might every once in a while do the squirrel thing. But we could hike October Mountain or whatever, and I would never even put him on a leash. He would just do
Wow.
the whole thing off leash.
Yeah, I see that a
Yep.
lot, and I think I mean dog owners are so great because I know trails very well as a runner for many years, and we hike trails, but we don't hike trails that much. But
Sometimes.
I love
Yeah.
hiking trails. Cars, not a big fan of it, but when you have people with their dogs, they don't really like to have them on
Exactly.
the leash. But they're very good typically when they go by a walker, or I mean, even in
Yes.
Kennedy Park, they used to have horses all the time. I don't see those as much anymore.
I haven't in a long time.
And that can be quite a scene, you
Yes.
know, dog
Yes.
v horse.
Horse.
But you know, they'll call up and say, "Don't worry, he's friendly." Of course, you know, easy for them to say, you know.
Yeah.
But I never had a problem with dogs. But you know, dog owners, I mean, you know, they love their dogs, and
Exactly.
you want to make sure they have some free reign. I mean, this whole idea of like, oh, you got to have a dog leashed all the time whenever you're out. It's like, how is that even sustainable?
Yeah.
You know, to
Kennedy
do
Park
that.
doesn't require leashes. They
Yeah.
just say your dog has to be under control.
Yeah,
But they don't necessarily say you have to leash
yeah, that's
them.
Kennedy Park.
I
know,
do like Kennedy Park.
You do.
I like some hikes, yeah.
Yeah. Kennedy Park is good. I don't know about the Pittsfield parks. I feel like there's a leash law in the Pittsfield parks, but I don't know.
Curvin.
There could
I
be.
should know that.
Curving, I believe, does, but nobody
Yeah.
follows it.
I know. Yeah.
Nobody follows the law of the city of Pittsfield.
No,
What?
nobody follows the
What?
leash law. Every once in a while, people will get a little irritated with you if
Yeah.
your dog's
Yeah.
not on their leash. But
Yeah, and things can. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not.
yeah, most of the time, and like
yeah.
you said, most of the time people know their dogs.
Right.
So some people that have inquired, my primary goal is off leash, and I'm not going to do off leash right away.
Right.
Obviously, we have to get to know each other, so I won't walk them off leash right away. And I will have my own geotags. Most dogs are microchipped now, but I have my own little geotags that I'll put on collars.
All right. So
that
how does
just
this
in
work?
case-
See,
That sounds cool.
This is not something that's familiar to me.
geotag.
So let's.
you can get them on Amazon. It's literally just clips onto their collar, and will sync to my phone.
Okay.
So
That's
if
awesome.
for some reason they see a squirrel and run off, I can find them right
so you
away.
put it like on the
Yep,
collar.
just clip it right on and
Yeah.
take it on and off. And I'll just
Oh.
probably put them on every dog,
That's a cool.
leashed
That's
or
really
unleashed.
cool.
Unleashed, because again, even a leashed dog can still get away.
Yeah.
Right.
If they pull hard enough.
Yeah. So you can use that for pets.
Yep,
You
you
can
just
use
put it
that
right
to,
on the dog every time we
That's
go,
kind of cool.
you
and I'll always know where
can-
they are.
You can
Yeah.
track your
track
significant
'em.
other. You know, you can spy on enemies. You know, things
Right.
like that. All kinds of things you can
All
do
sorts of things.
with that.
I track my child at all times.
Yeah.
We have our location services on all the time.
Isn't that
I
funny? And
always know
well,
where
your
she
daughter's
is.
24. It's not like she's, you know.
Well, and your guys' kids are
No,
a
well,
little
they-
younger,
yeah.
but
Well, you have the thing on the iPhone, for example.
Yes.
You can,
Yeah.
you know, if you have your iPhone, then you can. We don't use that, but
No.
you
And
know,
the kids are always like, no one's driving yet.
Yeah.
My daughter will be, so when that happens, it'll be a different story. But like the kids are always with us,
Yes,
so
yes.
but eventually,
But you got it.
the first time I
Yeah.
mentioned it, she was probably 16, and she was offended.
yeah.
Really?
Sophia gets
Never do
offended.
anything.
Yeah.
So 2 years later, I drop her off at school, and I mention it again, and she's like, "Oh, I don't care. It's fine. Turn it on." So I'm like, but she uses
matured
that
a
on me
little,
too. She'll
yeah.
all of a sudden I'll get a text message. Are you guys at the Olive Garden? She did it once. She's like, "Are you at the Olive Garden without me?" And I was like,
No.
We're close, but we're not there."
How dare you go to the
She did
Olive
say
Garden
that.
without
She
me?
was at the Olive Garden without me.
The Olive Garden.
Yeah.
My
I
kids
that.
love it. Yeah, they would do
That's-
that.
Yeah, of course.
That's it.
Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
it.
Yeah.
How
So
dare
I'll
you?
ha-
How
I'll
dare
have
you,
that-
Mom?
I'll have that on people's dogs as well.
That's awesome.
So if they slip away, I will know where they are.
Yes.
But I will not ever take them off until I'm comfortable knowing that they're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Teddy,
Yeah.
my first little guy that because I don't work Fridays. It took very little time for him to go off leash,
Yeah.
and he's fine.
Comment, like, and share, and to get your name in the running for a free hike, geotag or otherwise.
And yes, obviously
you-
this will be a new
you know.
dog, so if they're uncomfortable off leash, they can definitely stay on leash.
Yeah.
And I use
love
my
it.
own, the ones that sort of go in and out, so you can give them some more distance instead of just like a 3 or 4 foot leash, so
Yeah.
they can go off into the woods, and then I can call them back.
Now,
So they get used to coming back to me.
where are places that you go?
I've gone to tons of places. I like Kennedy. I like October Mountain. There's a couple places in Lenox that I go to. There's a nice hiking spot in Richmond that I've been to. There's another one. It's a small one. That's a good place to start. It's right off Barker Road.
Yeah.
That's a short one, and it's pretty straight back and forth, and there's not really a lot of places for them to go. So that's a really good one to start with.
Yeah. Yeah.
But around here, there's endless possibilities.
Oh
of
yeah, there's
places
so
to
many
go.
trails out there. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is that one that I always talk about, that hike with the old car?
The old car.
Like it's an old car that's just like a fossil in the woods. I feel like
Is it in Stockbridge?
no, I think it's Lanesboro or Dalton maybe.
Maybe it sounds Lanesboro.
It does.
I
In
feel like-
Lanesboro, I'm not super
Bounce Rock
familiar
over
with
there.
their
I think-
hiking paths.
Yeah, when you get to the top, it's like an overlook with like rocks, and
Yeah.
I can't think of the name.
there's a
of the
car.
trail. There is, like
And
you
there's a
get to
car.
a certain point and there's an old car that's like got vines and trees like growing.
I would assume at some point somebody will comment and tell
Yeah,
you.
Yeah,
I'm
let
just
us know.
curious because
Yeah.
I
What
is
love
that
that.
trail with the
There's like
car?
there's a brook and like a waterfall somewhere there too, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember where. I love that hike. I haven't been there since probably 2020. but-
Yeah, and then there's
Yeah.
also really close to us the boulders too,
Mm-hmm.
which I enjoy. We'll go with the kids every once in a while, and go to the top of that. And
Absolutely.
there's so
There's,
many.
Balance Rock.
Yeah,
There's,
balance. They're all over.
they're all over the place.
That's the
If-
that's one great thing about the Berkshires for sure.
Yeah, there's-
and yeah,
endless possibilities.
Endless.
Endless possibilities.
Endless.
And I actually, this was Donna from Balderdash's idea, so I can't take credit, but it's a fantastic idea. So she said, like if somebody wanted to come on a Saturday or a Sunday, sit, have a glass of wine, they could have you take their dog
Yeah.
for an hour for a walk while they just sort of relax.
and they've got a
eat,
big property, so you can
and they have
probably
a
do it
huge
right
property.
there.
And I know it very well because I live right there.
Yeah.
I walk myself probably 3 miles a day anyway, and I always walk by it.
and and maybe you can have a glass of wine while you're doing it.
Oh, no, that's
so-
that's what I do when I get back.
Martha Hoey said the trail with the
Yes.
car is in Hinsdale.
Yes. Okay.
Hi.
And
Martha.
Linda Horomansky says the Old Mill Trail in Hinsdale. So I don't
Okay.
think I've ever been
I
there.
don't think I have
like it.
either.
I love it there.
Okay.
We need to go.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
pretty much know like just about every trail
I mean,
in
it
Berkshire
does.
County.
It does
Yeah.
get.
I've never been to
steep
that one.
at a certain.
Well, yeah,
but
that's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
You like
That
the
is-
steepness,
Yeah, I
the
don't mind.
stuff,
Yeah.
the
I'm gonna have to check it out because I don't think I've ever been
There's
there
a bunch
either.
of different ways you can go, but yeah, it's a cool. I feel like there's like a waterfall or like a brook.
sounds
I mean,
amazing.
it's nice. It's
magnificent.
got different
Yeah.
scenery.
Yeah, so Hinsdale.
Yeah.
Hinsdale. You gotta check that out.
I know. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, I mean, and then you can head over to Wacona Falls, and that's nice over there. Oh my God! Oh, Bashbish Falls,
Bashbish Falls is a good one.
Is a good one.
It's a tougher one. But
tougher one for the dogs.
It's a tougher one for the dogs, but
But
it's a good one.
but the hardy dogs can do it.
The hardy dogs can absolutely do it.
Those billy goats.
They love it.
And Linda says it's a nice walk. Linda's taking the dog there in Hinsdale. So
Okay.
so there's one for you. Yeah, we'll have to go there.
Yeah.
we'll have to maybe this weekend. We'll head to Old Hinsdale,
Yeah.
the old trail, the mill, and
Yeah.
go find that motor vehicle
Yes, it's cool.
out there. So
Now I want to see it. I want to check it out.
Yeah.
we'll check it out. Shay will bring her dogs. We'll go out there
Yeah.
and check it out.
Yes.
So tell me about. This is kind of funny because you literally just started really the business like
Yes.
today.
Yep.
But from a I mean, word of mouth is the most powerful way to really get the word out. So, any thoughts of how you're going to get the word out from a marketing perspective?
So I have a friend, Jess DeMario. She has been helping me a lot because I am clueless about this stuff. But like, she's helped me with this. She's helped me so far with the Facebook page, all of that stuff. So now that I have some more time, we'll probably get together and actually meet more, because now we're kind of just going back and forth on Messenger, which you guys know can only get you so far.
Right.
So now that we have a little bit more time, she can probably help me a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because again, social media is not my strong suit. I'm not a big poster.
Yep.
But that's kind of what you need to do.
Yeah.
But,
so I've been trying really hard.
but I mean, everybody
and
loves.
the reels are good. Like the reels they get a lot of traction.
Yes.
So
Yep.
that's good.
And so, of course, you're on the podcast here, but yeah, anyone who has ideas for Shay, marketing ideas,
absolutely.
like a 2-for-1, 2 dogs, for one price or something. I don't know why I always immediately go to that. It's like something like get it. Like I said, I mean, word of mouth is the most powerful. So it's like it goes from one happy client, tells another person who has et cetera, and that's how it'll grow. And the next thing you know, you will have 24 dogs. But I have that image in my head of that person walking along in New York City with like 17 dogs all on. Like, I have that image. I mean, I think that's what a lot of people have in their head. It's probably not what it looks like.
No, I would say I probably can't do more than 4 dogs at a time. That might more than that might be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, because when you're talking about like hiking,
it's
the terrain and
exactly
and whatever. Yeah,
you also get another pair of hands.
Yes,
and hiking boots.
Yes,
exactly. As far as that goes, I don't think because people probably aren't taking that in consideration. You're going on a hike.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do some fields and things like that, but it's more we're in the woods, so your dogs are going to get dirty.
Yeah.
But they're going to be tired.
They're going to love it.
They're going to love it. They're going to be very tired. They're going to be a little dirty.
And I wonder how much, other than the front yard, most dogs actually get as far as feeling the earth.
Right.
Where do they go? Do they go on trails? Do they go on parks? Okay, even a park is nice. That's better than just the front or backyard. And most people probably have like an electric fence or a fence.
Yeah, we have an electric fence. So Sadie's never really been on a leash. Like, we don't walk her to go out. She goes out, she's got free reign.
Yep.
And even she knows now, so even when the battery's dead, she still won't go out.
Yep.
But when my mom was watching our house when we went away over the summer, my mom took her for walks and she absolutely loved it.
Yes.
We're so busy that we don't always get to do, you know what I mean? Well, it's been winter, but like the kids will take her out sometimes, but we just get so busy.
And she's an Australian Shepherd.
Yeah.
She was born to run.
I was going to say, she has a lot of energy.
Born to run.
She hops.
She
hops.
Yeah.
She bounces.
Yeah.
She herds.
Yes.
She does the whole thing. So
she's a good girl, and she would love to go on a hike.
Muggsy was not a backyard.
Yeah.
He had to go for a walk every day, every single day.
Yeah.
And sometimes multiple. And some of them were little, but he had to go for a walk every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think, maybe that's a little bit more of a new norm. So, that's something to think about, because I don't think people, now more than ever, people really care about their dogs, their diets, their activities, all those, a lot different than it was 30 years ago. That is true. But even with that, I don't know if people really prioritize exercise for their dogs, unless there's something wrong, unless the dog is like overweight or something like that. But yeah, that's a very normal thing.
But
like the dog.
And people are busy like you guys, and they're like, okay. I know when I leave Muggs, I have somebody that comes to my house and lets Muggsy out, and I feel guilty all day long.
I know
when I have to leave him.
Yeah,
and I had a hard time. I was saying. Sort of this came from. We had a hard time finding somebody to come and let him out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, obviously there's a need because I need it.
And that's why when I saw that you did, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Because I don't know of a lot of people that do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when I saw, I was like, oh, what a great idea. I think I know of one other person that does dog walking, but not necessarily hiking, but it's just a really good niche. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that would absolutely love that because, like, I know with us, we've got 5 kids.
Right.
And you would think that the kids would be like, yeah, let's take Sadie out for a walk. But they're just...
Yeah.
they're just not always,
Maybe.
excited to do that.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
I was going to say, there's a couple of other, they've been really, speaking, my daughter's calling me and twice in a row now, so, it must be important. There is a couple of other people that I have reached out to that I know do it, and they've been extremely helpful. Shayla Harrington has been really helpful, and Sarah McKenna are both similar.
Yeah.
And but they're full, so they're people that people know about. They've been doing it for a few years. But they're full. They can't take anybody.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's a
Also,
good
there's
sign.
high demand.
Yes.
And so, then the question is for the long term, now we can get all businessy. Like, how do you scale a business like this? Because you need human beings.
Yes.
Because we haven't created the AI robot yet to walk dogs. I'm sure I'm sure close at this point. But at the end of the day, if you have, your 4 dogs and then, all of a sudden there's 5 and 6, then, you'd have to have another person be able to help out with you.
Well, my goal is I would do probably 3 times a day.
Oh, I see.
So I could do, because you're doing about a 60-minute hike.
Yep.
You're going to be in shape.
Yeah.
You would think, but
Jeez.
Dennis said the same thing. And he's like, on Fridays, he's like, oh,
Dennis
when
is
you...
your husband, by
Yes,
the
he's
way,
my
just for
husband.
the-
Sorry, he's my
Yeah.
husband, guys. He's like, when you get home, you're not going to have to work out. I'm like, see, that's where you're wrong, because I spend a lot of time just standing there because the dogs stand and they just sniff and pee.
Yeah.
So eventually they'll take off. But I'm like, there's not as much exercise.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
that's
think,
what
as
I
you
say to
think
John.
there
When
is.
John says, I don't care, I don't mind hiking, but like if I'm trying to work out or something, a hike isn't a good way for me to do that. It's fun, when we go, but if I'm trying to like get in shape, I need to go fast. It's like more of a cardio.
You want a flat
thing for me.
surface. You want a flat, for some
Yeah, and I
reason,
go
Yeah.
fast. I don't run, but I
yeah.
like to go fast, or
Yeah.
I dance, or something like that. So I'm always like, well, because he's like, oh, I want to, I gotta
Go for a hike.
work off dinner or whatever.
Just go for a hike. Go
Yeah.
on the trails
Yeah.
and all that.
So
Try-
a
see Cara.
hike.
Well, it's
She doesn't like
true.
trails. So Shayla Marie Harrington says,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah.
You'll have 25 dogs like me before you know it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Shayla, how do you do 25 dogs? That's the that's
So
the question.
I told you she's been very helpful. She doesn't take them all at the same time, kind of like...
Well, no, that would be
Like, obviously, but she's great. I think she actually would want to take 25 dogs at the same time.
Yeah.
If she could.
That'd be fun.
That would be
so the
very
rotating,
overwhelming.
So the rotating basis, but
Yeah.
Shayla, you tell us about how you mix and match it. So Richmond is where you live.
Yep.
Right? So tell me about that as far as the logistics. Because presumably it may make sense for people who are in that area, West Pittsfield,
Yes.
Richmond.
So
and
it
kinda
would
advertise that way.
It would be nice if I could stick to that circle, but I also understand that other people. So I would do Richmond, West Pittsfield, even into the center of Pittsfield. Teddy lives on Pomeroy, which is not that far.
Right.
Stockbridge, West Stockbridge, even into early parts of Lenox are all sort of close.
Yep.
I'm not opposed to going a little further away. It doesn't, it doesn't
do you
really
have a
bother.
vehicle that could?
I do
Are you
have a
working on that?
vehicle,
Are you
but
working-
I will be getting a second vehicle.
You're gonna get a dog van.
I am going to get yes,
All right.
a Muttmobile.
A Muttmobile.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
It's like road trip.
Yeah, Dennis loves shopping around for things like this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't even have to do anything.
It sounds like it's just fun for him.
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't
Like-
even have to do anything. He'll find the vehicle.
Yeah.
I just have to test drive it and see if I like it. and then he'll find the car.
Where does he find it?
Oh, Facebook Marketplace, anywhere.
geez.
Oh, yeah, he loves
Okay.
it. He
So-
loves this.
So you're telling he's not just like going to car dealerships.
No.
He's
No.
going to other
Yes.
places,
Yep.
like, what is it that with like where the impounded cars are, things like that.
Yep.
Like
No.
is that a thing?
I think so.
Is that
I
like
don't,
the
I don't
auction?
Maybe the
know.
auction
Like
is what
the-
you're thinking.
Yeah, the auction.
Yeah, auctions.
Isn't that
maybe.
what that that is?
I mean, I guess.
I would think
those kinds
so.
of things.
He wouldn't go, but he has friends that would go. That go to things
He
like
knows
that.
a guy.
He knows a guy. He knows a guy that does that.
All
Yeah.
I can think of
Gotta-
is the what was it called? With the dog, Jim Carrey and the
Oh
other
yeah,
guy with the van.
Mutts and Cuts.
Yes.
That's what we say all the time. I'm like, I can't call it Mutts and Cuts, so I'll have to
Oh,
call it the
man.
Muttmobile.
I would love to see that. That would be.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
talk about advertising. Now,
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh my God!
There you
Could you
go.
imagine seeing a giant dog?
Oh, that is so.
Yeah.
I've tried to avoid the potholes in Pittsfield.
Yes,
It would look,
Well, you're not gonna. I don't care what you're driving.
yeah.
You're not
You're gonna
avoiding
look like
those things,
It looked
but
like
that's
this dog's
okay.
a little bit messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, mutts and cuts. Just keep it on the side roads.
Yeah.
Away from Pittsfield.
No main roads in Pittsfield.
No
or
main
I'm gonna
roads.
lose a tire.
You don't want to. You'll lose the whole van.
Yeah. Right.
Um, so that's hey, listen, we've come up with some really great ideas here.
Yeah.
I really like it. I love this.
Yeah.
Little mutts and cuts vehicle.
Yeah.
We got the,
Yeah.
got the geocache going on or something.
Geotags.
Geocache.
Geocache.
People can pay me in geocache if they want.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you could do a little doggy geocache. You know what I'm saying?
Make
I don't
something
know.
new.
Like that's
fine,
There you
yeah.
go. We're being innovative.
Right?
Yes.
We're small
You
business
have
owners.
to.
We're innovative.
You have
Yeah.
to be innovative.
Yep. Exactly.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. So how can people get into? You have a Facebook page.
So
right?
I have Facebook and Instagram. So as of now, I'm just Facebook Messenger is how most people have gotten a hold of me for things like that, and that's fine. It can either be mine. Hiking Hounds has its own
Yep.
professional page. It can be through mine as well.
And we'll share that to
I
the business
think
page.
mine is not public, so it might be harder for me. But the Hiking Hounds business page is public.
Okay.
And I do get them. I've had people definitely reach out.
Yeah.
And it's worked out really well so far.
All right. So
Yep.
I have the let's see here. We got the. Is that what it is? Okay. We got the mutts and putts there. I'm doing the best that I can do. If you see this,
This is
thing,
this is the things that people send me now all the time.
Traveling around.
Oh yeah, they send me this
you
stuff
see
all
one of
the time.
those
But I'm like, no, that's fantastic.
travel
I
around
think that's
Pittsfield.
great.
That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to see that.
Either that or I'm just gonna have to get little ears and a tail
Yep.
That would be.
That
Something
would
like
be
that.
awesome.
so that people know.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
you can start with your current vehicle and just put some big
Yes.
ears and,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
tails and,
But
and all that stuff. Yeah.
I think the new car, if there's when we get one or two more, I'm gonna have to get the new
Yeah.
car because they get really dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
But
dogs are
they're
dirty.
having so much fun
Yeah,
that they're
Yeah, they love it.
filthy.
yeah,
tired.
absolutely. So,
Sadie would be
Yep.
dirty all the time.
Yeah.
If she could
Oh
be,
yeah.
you know?
So your
Yeah.
car's gonna get really
Yeah.
gross.
that's the
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yep.
That's the way to do it. So,
Absolutely.
well, I am excited. I'm totally happy for you, and I'm
Thank you,
glad.
guys.
Because and with that said, in order to be successful as a small business owner, you really have to have your partner on board.
Absolutely.
So your husband's Dennis.
Yes.
Yeah, and longtime small business owner. So tell me about him a little bit, and his role in all this. I mean, you alluded to it.
He's been ultra supportive. Like, it's been amazing. I was like, I this is what I want to do, and without batting an eye, he said, okay, this is what we're gonna do then. Then this is what we're gonna do. He's like, you have to be happy. You can't live your life unhappy every day.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
not a way to
true.
live.
Yeah.
So that pretty much was it. So we kind of came up with a little bit of a game plan, and honestly, my boss was great about it. My coworkers were exceptionally understanding about it because they all understand. They're
Yeah.
like, okay, and I'm like, this isn't my path, my passion anymore.
Right.
It's just not. And they were so understanding. just asked if I could stay a little longer, which is fine. I'm totally fine with that. So he's been great. He's, Jess, who I mentioned before, had helped him a few times. So I've known her for many years anyway, but he's the one that got me in touch with her. She's done a ton. She's helped me out a lot with things that I didn't even know that you had to do.
Yeah. And it's always
I had no
changing.
clue.
Social media, I mean, Facebook, there's always something new going on. So it is hard to keep up with it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Whenever anyone says I'm an expert in social media, I mean, everyone who says that to truly be an expert, like, it is not only a full-time job, because just like everything, it changes so rapidly that in order to keep up with it, you'd have to be literally just simply focusing on that and reading and staying up to date and researching constantly and never stopping. And it has to, because that's how intense it is, and that's how much it changes so quickly. So getting help on that is definitely the way to go. No one's an expert, really. Even the ones who call themselves experts.
I'm an ultra beginner.
Yeah.
And I still find myself apologizing sometimes.
Yep.
Like after dinner, because I've had my face in my phone
Right.
for an hour. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, it's okay. I get it. You have to do it. This is what you need to do. So, it's brand new, obviously.
Yeah.
This is all brand new.
Yeah.
And now he gets to hopefully car shop a little bit. Find me a Mopmobile.
Find that Mopmobile.
Find a Mopmobile.
I think we found it. There it is, right there. We got it.
Isn't that amazing?
That's a good one.
It's glorious.
That's a good one. It's so fuzzy.
It's so fuzzy. It looks so cute.
The Fuzzmobile.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But it does make a difference when, like, with John's support, I wouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah,
if
you
he
can't.
Didn't. Yeah. So I'm, like, grateful.
So I don't know if you guys remember. This was probably about a year ago. We ran into you guys somewhere. I think you were together. I know it was you. And you were like, what's it like to be married?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, and I was like, it's not that different. And you said, you were kind of shocked. And you were like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Well, we had just gotten married. And I was wrong. It is very different.
Yeah.
It is a whole different world.
You were still on the little ramp up phase
Yes.
there. It wasn't.
It's a whole entirely different world. Like, I literally couldn't do this without my family support.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you can't. Without his support, my daughter's support, she's helped me a few times too. She'll be home next week. She has a ton of work she has to do because I know nothing about my iPad. So she has to set it up completely and teach me how to use it.
So you're one of those parents.
Oh, I'm terrible.
You're one of those parents. Because we all have those parents.
I'm not.
It's amazing how kids are automatically experts in all technology.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the parents,
I ask my
they'll
kids
call you
for help with TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't.
But
I have no idea.
They'll call you at 10 o'clock at night and be like, "Oh, I can't get into my iPad. I need help with that." I'm like, "What am I gonna?" So. But it is. I get it from my parents, and I think that's just the general rule. So, that's one of those things. If you're a kid, you gotta know how to get into the iPad.
She told me what to buy, but she couldn't show me how to use it yet because she's in her last clinical rotation, so I don't get to see her that much. But she'll be home for good. Well, not for good, but next weekend, so she'll have a lot of work to do.
Yep. All right.
With
Yeah,
me.
it's not just a doctorate.
No.
That's the easy part.
That's the easy part. Now teaching your mom how to use her iPad is going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard.
Doctorate's a piece of cake.
well, it's
cake.
you know, my mom would always say to me, she like kind of gently will ask me like, "Can you help me with this?" And I try not to be impatient or whatever, but I guess I sometimes come off as being a little impatient.
I get it.
And I feel bad because now that's how my daughter is with me. So I'm like, so I ask my son. My son has more patience. So I'll be like, "Ricky, how do you do?" And he'll show me. And if I ask my daughter, she's like, "Oh, Mom, like, really? No patience."
How old is she?
16.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Zero patience, but that'll change. My son, he's 13.
Yeah.
He still has some patience.
Yeah, it will 100% change. It will. it's you'll get to the point, and I mean, I always loved hanging out with my daughter, but now we get to just hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's 24.
Right.
Mhm.
So when we hang out, we can just hang out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she will lose her patience with me 100%.
Well, she can also take a dog.
She,
you know.
she actually said that. She goes, Mom, I'm going to be home, and I don't have that many classes,
Yep.
so I can help you.
That's
and you're
awesome.
like, that's
Yeah.
exactly what you got your doctorate for.
That's
You know, that's-
exactly.
that you're going to be walking
Yeah.
some dogs
So
with
walking
mom.
dogs.
You know, what is her her doctorate is in physical
therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she can't take her boards until July. So she does have an excuse until July.
Okay. Which
And
is
then
a-
after that,
Yeah.
she can get a job.
Yeah. Oh, she won't have any problem getting
No.
a job.
I don't think she will.
She will not.
No, one of her rotations
yeah.
was at BMC, and they were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yep.
loved it.
For sure.
Absolutely loved
Yeah.
it.
Having
That's-
worked in healthcare for many years, speech therapists, occupational therapists, physical
If I
therapists,
could go back,
all
I would
in
have been a
severe
Yeah, of course.
pathologist.
demand for
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
My
Yeah.
mom's an OT.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I know.
There you go. She's not. She's not looking for work. It's coming to her. I'm sure all the time, for sure. So, well, Shay, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited for you.
Thank
I
you.
wish you the very, very best.
Thank you so
this is going
much.
to be so fun, and living out your passion, and you can't really ask for anything better than that. And whether it's a spouse or a family member, there's nothing else that you could possibly hope for someone you love is to see them to follow their passion, and that is amazing. So so we're excited for you, and I wish you the very best, and hopefully we'll get some good referrals from the video here tonight.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
also
So pass it along, guys.
everyone who
Spread the word.
comments, if you got your dog there, comments and shares, you're in the running for a free hike in the Berkshires with Shay.
Yeah.
And then one day we're gonna get that on
Yes.
the road.
Oh,
We're gonna get that
absolutely.
going.
Can't wait.
And then everybody's gonna know the Hiking Hounds. I mean, everybody's
Yep.
gonna know the Hiking Hounds. So Shay, it's a great pleasure seeing you, and I
Thank you,
wish you the
guys.
very best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much.
Yep.
Everyone have a great night.